Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Court told Tommy Robinson would be killed by a lifer, in prison if he wasn't moved. Tommy Robinson was isolated in prison over concerns for his safety, including that he would be killed by a lifer, the High Court has heard. Details of Robinson's life behind bars have been revealed amid a bid to challenge the government over his segregation from other prisoners. Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, was jailed for 18 months last October for the civil offense of contempt of court and is currently in HMP Woodhill in Milton Keynes, Buckinghamshire. He is seeking to launch a legal challenge against the Ministry of Justice, MoJ, over being isolated from other inmates. The MoJ is opposing the challenge. Its lawyers said Robinson's isolation was substantially more permissive than standard segregation regimes, including access to a laptop and emails and use of an exercise yard for several hours a day. He is also allowed to make social phone calls for 4 hours a day. Tom Cross, for the MoJ, said in written submissions that 120 people had been authorized to visit Robinson, and he had been allowed over 80 visits. Another 13 non-family visits approved up to March 30. He is also able to request to see other prisoners. Read more criminals being allowed to choose their gender by police, warns report. His visits are 2 hours of social visits, 4 days a week, which he said were well in excess of prison requirements for unconvicted prisoners, which is at least 1 hour per visit, 3 days a week. Mr. Cross said the governor of the prison had said he had significantly more visits time than any other prisoner at HMP Woodhill. He said Robinson could access a telephone for 4 hours a day to speak to family and friends since March 11, after a request for increased phone use was approved. In court, Mr. Cross said, since November 1, Robinson has made more than 1,250 social telephone calls. He continued, in his cell he has access to various personal possessions, such as TV, laptop, notebook, CD player, DVD player. Mr. Cross said Robinson used his laptop to send and receive emails, which he had done in their hundreds. Don't miss Crime Madness as Labor Sentencing Czar says dangerous prisoners must be let out revealed. New blow for Keir Starmer after grim new record broken in justice crisis latest. Sending pensioners to prison slashes £40 off benefits bill report. We use your sign-up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding. You can unsubscribe at any time. Read our privacy policy. Other aspects of his imprisonment include daily visits from a member of the prison's chaplaincy team, an NHS doctor or registered nurse, and 2 3/4 hours of work, painting and decorating, 3 days a week. In written submissions, Mr. Cross said, the claimant's regime does not amount to total solitary confinement. It has been and will continue to be modified as conditions have permitted. The claimant has been permitted extensive and regular communications with other people. Robinson was jailed in October last year by Mr. Justice Johnson after admitting 10 breaches of a High Court order made in 2021. The order barred him from repeating libelous allegations against a Syrian refugee who successfully sued him. Mr. Cross said shortly after arriving at the prison in November, Robinson was moved to a closed wing which cannot be accessed by other prisoners, after it received intelligence about threats to his safety. In written submissions, he said, HMP Woodhill received several intelligence reports showing a non-speculative risk to the claimant, including that 2 other prisoners at HMP Woodhill were plotting to assault the claimant to gain kudos and notoriety, and that the claimant had a mark on his head and would be killed by a lifer if located on a wing. Alastair Williamson KC, for Robinson, said, we are presented with a position that Woodhill is not a safe place for him to be unless he is in segregation, but that segregation is, we suggest, harming him. He added, it is clear, we submit, that the distress he is suffering goes beyond that which is inherent in incarceration. Mr. Justice Chamberlain previously said he planned to give a decision on whether the legal bid can proceed on Thursday, March 20. But at the end of the hearing, the judge said he would hand down a written ruling at a later date. He said he hoped to share his decision on Friday, March 21. After today's hearing ended, Robinson, who attended via video link from HMP Woodhill, held up a piece of paper which read, "Can't lock up the truth.